the best parts of being the publisher of Westwood Living and the host of the Westwood Living podcast is that I've gotten a chance to meet so many new people, and I'm literally sitting across the table from a individual who I didn't know 10 minutes ago. Lars Lambros, how are you doing?
Hi, Tom. I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. So Lars works at Dedham Health Athletic Complex, a new sponsor of Westwood Living. You will see their first ad, a 2-page spread in the center spread of the May issue, which is coming out between May 10th and 20th. And you're going to love even how it looks, because as I saw this creative, which is specifically talking about the summer camp that Dedham Health and Athletic Complex organizes, it looks unbelievable. I mean, it's just, and you've been doing this now for how long?
I've been with Dedham Health for 33 years.
So you've seen a lot. You've seen a lot of growth. You've seen a lot of additions. You've seen a lot of everything, I would
We've
suppose.
seen a lot of stuff. Yeah, come and go.
So, I mean, you and I were joking about the owner, Lloyd Gainsborough, and how he's just made of stories. I mean, his lifeblood is just telling stories of how this place has grown over almost 50 years, if not longer.
Incredible entrepreneur in this business. He's really created a lot of things, but I'm not so sure about his childhood, because when you look around here, you look like he's trying to relive it, with the park and everything we have.
I mean, the park in and of itself is a story that is beyond believable because of how it was constructed, the architecture behind this pool. The whole thing is fascinating to me. And walk me through the lifeblood of how the pool area has evolved and how you maximize your resources to really unite the community and bring families through the door.
Yeah, I think it's a great question, Tom. I think, Lloyd's vision, is, if you go back 25 years when we created the Summer Club, is he wanted to create a Disney, a family space in Dedham. And I think with the Summer Club, it's amazing still to this day how many people come from Westwood or come from Dedham or come from Needham and say, I had no idea this was here. So the Summer Club specifically is a private water park, which you can join from Memorial Day through Labor Day. It's for families. It has wave pools, water slides, a ropes course, it has activities for kids, full service snack bar. It's literally a water park, private water park in the back of Dedham. It's wonderful.
And it is hidden because it's behind the facility. And if you've never been here, you have to understand that Dedham Health is 241,000 square feet of space.
6 acres.
Everything you could imagine, from tennis courts to pools to saunas to physical therapy to weights to rehab. I mean, I'm just scratching the surface of what's available here. But behind all that is this unbelievable pool, this vast space which we've been talking about, that your best bet is to probably go to Google Maps and look at it from up top.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, or at least go to the website
Right.
and check out some of the photos. So there's the Summer Club, which you can join, which is obviously from May until, I'm assuming you said Labor Day, right?
So it's Memorial Day through Labor Day.
Yeah.
It's 7 days a week and 10 a.m. to dusk. So it's nonstop.
So there's also something that you're very familiar with and very involved with, which is the camps. And I love the fact that there are so many different camps and there are different themes each week with the camps. Tell me about the evolution of these camps and what sets them apart.
Yeah, so there's different options, right? With the Summer Club, you don't have to be a camp member. You can just join the Summer Club as a family and use that on a daily basis. But then within that space, we found a lot of parents obviously working and in need of camps. So we have a daily camp. We have a few of them, actually. We have My First Camp, which is for children 4 to 6. And then we have the Ultimate Camp, which is for kids 6 to 14. And then we have a tennis camp. So there are a lot of different options. And with these camps, the kids get to do indoor, outdoor activities, which is wonderful. So a lot of camps are outdoors only, and they can be a little hot, or they can be rained on, or they can have issues can be a little difficult to navigate with the weather during the summer. And a lot of camps are just indoors, so they don't get to enjoy the summer weather, right? So with our options, with our camps, they run weekly. There are multiple week specials. Obviously, depending on what the kids like to do, they would pick that type of camp, depending on their age. But they get to use the water park. They get swim lessons daily. They get lunch provided daily. And they get, our wonderful staff and instructors, where they get to kind of choose the activities that they want to do on a daily basis, from rock climbing to ropes course to water slides and everything in between.
And this is the time. This is, if it's even late in the game where people are making their decisions about what they're going to be doing with their families and with their kids for the summer.
Yeah, so there are some camp weeks that are sold out for the camp specifically. We are open in the majority of weeks, so definitely can check that on our website at dedhamhealth.com, and you go on to the summer activities. But yeah, now's the time. I would say now is the time. If you haven't planned your summer activities, you want to probably get on that.
When you're talking to somebody or pitching somebody who's not familiar with you yet,
Yeah.
what's your secret? What do you tell them to do?
As far as the park and the camps, I think the biggest thing for parents is safety. You know, as I'm dropping my child off there for 7 hours, is my child going to have fun, and is it going to be safe? And I think, you know, with the water park and so forth, one of the big things we speak about is the Ellis licensed lifeguarding, which is the same as Disneyland. You know your kid's going to be safe in a water space. They also get swim lessons, which are really important. But they get choices of what they want to do. They get activities so they can fill their day with the activities that they like to do, whether it's Legos or robotics or, you know, again, like I said, rock climbing or ropes course. We want them to have the opportunity to kind of choose the things that they like to do. And parents tell us every time they pick us up, they said, my kids slept great last night.
There you go.
That's what we like to hear.
Hit the knockout button right there.
Exactly.
But one of the things I noticed in this awesome 2-page spread, which you're going to see in the center spread of the May issue of Westwood Living, is that each week has its own themes. And you didn't list the specific weeks here, but I'm just looking at some of the themes. And you've got, you know, Color Wars one week, and you've got Camp Carnival, which is in June, and then Superheroes, and, you know, Island Fiesta, and Star Wars. And, you know, that's just, to me, pretty cool. You even have a Hogwarts theme one of these weeks.
That's sold out already.
Hogwarts is sold out. Right, too
Yeah.
late for that one. But
Yeah.
you got, you know, Party in the USA, which I'm assuming is around, you know, Flag Day. Or,
Yeah.
So that's just, to me, it seems like it's a well-oiled machine of people who've been doing this for a long time, and you zero in. Is there anything that's kind of new this year that you've added to the mix based on what you learned?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to add some Taylor Swift nights with that. That seems to be a pretty popular time.
Good move.
We do, we do Friday nights, and we do, you know, where kids can get dropped off, and we've had some pretty successful nights with Taylor Swift nights. But for the most part, as you said, it's a well-oiled machine. We've been doing it for a while. I think the big thing is if it's not broke, don't fix it, and the kids love it. Again, the big thing for parents, lunch is included. Swim lessons are daily. It's really a drop and go. There's extended days for parents who have a situation where they have to go to work early or they show up a little late. So we try and make it as convenient as we can and keep the kids safe and fun.
Not to be overlooked, and I certainly want to talk about it because, ironically, our athlete of the month for May is a tennis player.
Wow.
And when I asked her where she trains, she said Dedham Health. And she had been coming up through the system, and that is a component of this camp structure that you referenced quickly. But I mean, that's high level. I mean, you're talking about if you want to be a good tennis player, I'm sure you have some entry, you know, I'm sure you have some entry portals, but you've got a reputation of having very strong instructors.
Tom, thank you for bringing that up. I think, so we do have a camp for tennis specifically, which is, you know, 4 to 5 hours, 6 hours of tennis daily. So it is for the tennis enthusiast and someone who plays, but they're all levels. So they're beginners who learn how to play, and they like the game, and they're getting into it. But we also have a high-end camps. Our junior program within the club runs all year round, and Nofal Hamani, who is the director of the tennis camp, is well known across the country.
Yep, that's Scarlett's coach.
Yeah. He's brilliant, and he does a wonderful job, as do all his coaches. You know, they're all structured and processed. He has a very specific program that he works with them, and he does a wonderful job with his regular junior program during the year and his camps. His camps are great.
How many tennis courts you got here?
There are 11 courts.
Wow.
Yeah.
This place is monstrous. If you've never
fun.
been here, you got to come by. For somebody who's never been here, is there like an intro? Hey, come stroll around. Do you give tours? How do you get people to understand a little bit more about what Dedham Health offers?
Yeah, it's interesting because there's so many different things depending on the season, but the Indoor Health Club offers monthly memberships that you can utilize and participate in. We have trial memberships for families. You can come in and check it out anytime you'd like. You know, we have everything for kids 6 months, and we have, believe it or not, we had a gentleman who just turned 101 the other day.
Come
and he's
on.
working out. Yeah, it's great.
That
He's
is
actually
cool.
playing tennis.
And you know what? You mentioned Lloyd and his fascination, we'll call it, with Disney.
Yeah.
And I think that there's something to that, because when you look at how the facility is structured, it's very smart in terms of, you know, we start things out pretty, it's not very heavyweight. You know, this is more about movement. And then as we move along here, we start adding a bit more resistance. And then when we get to the final room, that's where you really start seeing your heavy weight. So even everything about the way this whole facility is laid out, to me just rings of the Disney experience, and he must have been influenced by that somewhere along the line.
I think he probably was. And Lloyd is not. He's a tennis player, but I wouldn't say that Lloyd and Roberta, his wife, who have owned the club and run the club hands-on, they're both. I won't tell you that they're in their 80s, but they're in their 80s and they're still in great shape. They want the place for everyone to be able to come in. They don't want just a space where you have these superstar athletes or these bodybuilders. You want a space where everyone feels comfortable and safe. As far as the health club, one of the big things with this space is we offer free personal training with exercise physiologists. So whether you're a seasoned veteran of working out, or whether you're someone who's brand new, or someone who's been injured, or someone who's a little older who needs to get in better shape, the process that you would go through here is the same. You're going to get the same expert attention, so it's ideal for what you're looking to do.
All right, my last question for you is just your own experience here. 33 years, I think you said. What have you seen as the evolution? If you point to where it was when you started back in the, I guess, early 90s to where it is now in 2025, what's been the evolution?
It's interesting. I would say what's unique about this facility is Lloyd's vision and Roberta's vision for what it was and what it's turned into, and kind of the ability to morph into what's out there and what people want, right? So it started off as, we were probably the top 10 largest health club in the country 30 some odd years ago. And we've just continued to evolve into different things that people want and need. We went from a fitness center to a tennis facility to a physical therapy facility to pools to racquetball, everything you can possibly imagine that's out there. I mean, we're going to add a golf simulator this off season because that's such a popular thing. So we continue to evolve based on what the needs are out there.
Love it. So if you want to learn more, you just want to go to dedhamhealth.com. This is the time to be thinking about what you're going to be doing with your kids and your family over the summer, and this is a fantastic option. It's right here on Providence Highway in Dedham. And if you want to call somebody, the number is 781-326-2900. The address specifically is 200 Providence Highway. It's right in that Dick's Sporting Goods complex right behind Pizzeria Uno.
Correct. Yeah.
That's the best way to... Those are my landmarks for you to get here. But, Lars, I appreciate you giving me an overview. I can't wait to have you guys continually in the publication and start seeing some photos about these camps and, getting to know some of your staff members and, just hear some of the stories. What a great place. I'm glad I got the chance to meet Lloyd. I'm glad I got a chance to meet you today, too.
Great to meet you. Thank you for the opportunity. We appreciate it.
You got it. That is the very latest from the Westwood Living Podcast Network. As always, if there's somebody you want me to have a conversation with, just reach out. Send me an email to tleiden@bestversionmedia.com. I'll find that person, have a conversation with them, and then share it with you right here across the podcast network. But for now, with Lars at Dedham Health, I'm Tom Leyden saying thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you soon.